Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Governing Board meeting of the Lammersville Unified School District to order on Wednesday, March 5th at 7 p.m. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded, so I ask that you kindly turn off or silence your cell phones at this time. Members of the public are welcome to speak to the board on agendaized items or during public comments for items that are not on the agenda. If you do wish to speak to the board, please fill out a blue comment card that you'll find in the back of the room. Tonight we have two very special groups of students with us. First, I would like to welcome Principal Ritchie and her students from Bethany Elementary. And at this time, if the students can come to the podium and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, we appreciate that. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I understand you have a presentation for us.
Good evening, President Boulay, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. I am proud to have two of our leadership students here tonight to tell you a little bit about their activities this year and the Castle Conference, which they'll be attending later this month.
Hello, we are from Bethany Elementary School and would like to introduce ourselves as me, Asil Fiki, the 2024 to 2025 ASB President of Bethany.
And me, Chloe Aquino, the 2024 to 2025 ASB VP of Bethany Elementary School.
We're so excited to be given the opportunity to come here and explain to you our applications to Castle and the many things it has to offer. First, we'll start off with myself going over Freshman Director and what it really means to run for the Castle State Board. The Castle State Board is a group of dedicated student board members and adult advisors. Each year, this group of leaders work tirelessly to plan and host the Castle Annual State Conference, as well as help plan area conferences, LDDs, and workshops. However, before 7th grade, I didn't even know what Castle was. I wasn't really an ASB, and I didn't know much about really running for it. But last year, I was given the privilege to go to the Castle State Conference in Ontario, California. There, our very own 2023 to 2024 ASB President, Natalie Navarro, decided to run for Freshman Director. So after watching all her hard work, courage, determination, and bravery, I myself was also inspired to run for the Castle State Board. I saw how much she really put into running for it, and I realized this was something I wanted to do. It involved planning, making speeches, public speaking. This is all stuff I personally love to do as a president. We plan stuff like assemblies, rallies, so it's really fun for me to be able to do these things. This Friday, March 7th, the finalists will be announced. If I make the finalists, I will go on to the final round at Castle in Santa Clara. In Freshman Director, there are many things that checked off my boxes. You plan events, you host, you grow your leadership experience. These are all stuff I love to do and want to continue in my life throughout high school and maybe even after that too. So if I make the finalists, I will go on to the final round at Castle in Santa Clara, where I will be campaigning around with new people I've never met using only word of mouth. No posters, no visual representation, just your word of mouth and how much you can get people to trust you and realize that you are the right choice. I am so excited to go on stage with the rest of the finalists if I make it and to show them who I truly am and why I deserve this position. Even though I am really nervous about this, I'm excited to see how much I can truly accomplish and where this can bring me. Now we have Chloe with a mini workshop called Meet the Pros.
All schools that attend the Castle State Conference has the opportunity to apply to a presentation called Meet the Pros. It is a mini workshop and you are able to show a program, lesson, activity, and all of that for a unique way to interest other people. From the applications, presentations are selected to present at school in a workshop called Meet the Pros. After your presentation is selected, you're then able to start your presentation. You're able to use a science board for your presentation and pass out flyers to many people that attend your workshop. This mini workshop is 12 minutes long and there are 6 rotations in the workshop. These presentations are created so that Castle delegates can take back these activities and lessons to make an impact in their school. The Castle State Conference is also about learning ways in impacting your school and really supporting others. Meet the Pros is a great way to share these amazing ideas. This year, I have applied to Meet the Pros, and it's my second year, and I am excited to also do it next year as well. Meet the Pros has helped me with my confidence, projecting my voice, and really getting out of my comfort zone.
At Bethany Elementary School, we recently applied for the Outstanding Leadership Program Award, also known as OLPA, and it was an amazing experience. OLPA recognizes students that help OLPA recognizes schools that help students' leaders grow into both responsible and bright leaders. In preparation, we collected testimonials from different people around the school. This included our very own principal, Miss Ritchie, myself, and a random student we selected from our school that was not an ASB. These reflections highlight the positive impact our leadership program has on the school and also the student and community it is involved in. This is an amazing program for us to try, and we analyzed Castle's mission statement to see how it can relate back to our own ASB class and our school. Not to mention, our advisor, Miss Gates, also had to make a huge application, which tirelessly had to do a lot of work to make sure it was perfect and also got us the award. This year, we were actually recognized as one of the OLPA programs, as you can see up on the screen, which is really hard for us, especially because we are a TK through 8 school. So it's really hard to be able to bring trust and be able to connect not only TKers, but 8th grade, because there's a huge age gap between those. We are so grateful to not only be able to apply for this leadership award and attend Castle, but also be selected to go on stage at the Castle 2025 conference in Santa Clara to receive our plaque over there. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck at that on your Castle campaign, and congratulations on the OLPA award. That's awesome. And thanks so much for being here.
I have a comment. So I understand that you're part of the ASB and you received the OLPA award, right? So I was at Bethany today at your school, and I was doing the reading for the TK kids. And I have to say that under your leadership, you have such amazing students who are who actually gave me such a positive vibe when I read to them. And they gave me the most precious gift ever. I actually told your principal that I'm going to bring it today. So I have it. I would like to share it with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so this
so
is
sweet.
such a precious gift that I received from your TK kids. So you are doing an amazing job as leaders, and you're also getting wonderful guidance from your staff, your principal, and your teachers. So all the very best to everything that you do, and all the very best to the competition too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the board?
No, just great job. You guys are exuding energy, which is incredible. And so are you guys both 8th graders?
No, I'm in 8th grade. She's in 7th grade because those are the requirements to be able to run for president. And
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the high school should watch out. I think you're going to do incredible things at the high school when you get there next year or in a couple of years. So great leadership, great presentation. Appreciate everything you guys do for Bethany.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And students, you're welcome to stay. There's another student presentation, or you can leave at this time as well. I know as 7th and 8th graders, you probably have lots of homework. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you so
Julie,
much.
thank you.
Okay, our second group of students are the TED Ed students, and Mrs. Hambleton is here, and Assistant Superintendent Sharp is here with our TED Ed students.
Good
Thank
evening,
you.
President Boulay, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having us this evening. I am not going to spend a lot of time introducing because there's some amazing people in back of me who are going to introduce themselves, but I do want to take a moment to thank our curriculum coordinator, Christy Hambleton, and Denise Hinton for all the work that they've been putting in, and all of these kids in the background for the TED Ed event. So hopefully you're planning on attending it as a great event. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to them.
Hi, my name is Harsha Pasupulati. I'm a senior at Mountain House High School, and I'm representing Mountain House Speech and Debate as the head coach for the TED Ed Student Talks event. My hosts will now introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Sarah Chandapale. I'm in 7th grade, and I go to Hanson Elementary.
Hi, my name is Anya Devlal. I'm in 8th grade, and I also go to Hanson Elementary.
Hi, my name is Shamik Raj. I'm in 7th grade, and I also go to Peter Hansen Elementary School.
Hi, my name is Shantanu Yogi. I'm in 7th grade, and I go to Evelyn Costa Elementary School.
Thank you, members of the school board, for allowing us to introduce you guys to the TED Ed Student Talks event, which will be taking place on March 27th. This event is a celebration of students' creativity, critical thinking, and public speaking skills. And it will serve as a platform for students to share their ideas and perspectives in an engaging and meaningful way.
We start this event with our GATE Showcase starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Mountain House High School and PR. Our gifted and talented education students in grades 5 through 8 will present passion projects, each developed through extensive research. Each of these students' creations reflect ideas of their own interest, driving student-driven learning in GATE. Following our GATE Showcase, students will take the stage for our TED Ed Student Talks program, starting at 6:30 p.m. at the Mountain House High School Theater, inspired by the globally recognized TED format. Each student will present a thought-provoking speech, sharing their perspectives on the ideas that matter to them.
A defining element of the TED Ed program is a through line, the theme that connects each student's talk to their overall message. The talks our students have created range from topics like laziness as the father of invention, which will have you laughing out loud, to more intuitive topics like the power of thoughts, which will leave you thinking for hours to come. Get ready to be captivated. These presentations are designed to shine a spotlight on the incredible power of student voices, proving that young minds can shape our future.
This event is more than just a presentation. It's an opportunity to develop a visionary mindset and empower students to build confidence, express their ideas, and inspire change. This event fosters community engagement, bringing together students, families, and educators to celebrate student achievement. Events like this reinforce our commitment in developing lifelong learners and young leaders.
We would love for each of you to join us on March 27th to witness the incredible ideas, passion, and creativity of our GATE students. Your support is essential in ensuring that programs like this one continue to thrive and expand. Thank you for your time and consideration. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you guys for hearing us out. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask now.
Are there any questions from the board?
I don't have a question, just a comment. I'm very much looking forward to the event. I've been every year, and every year it amazes me how good it is, and I always think they can't get better, and then the next year it's even better, so I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
I'd like to say the same thing. I'm very much looking forward to it. I always prioritize this event on my calendar because I just can't wait to hear the talks. I still remember many of them that have been given in years past and chuckle at a few of them. But great work that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to it very much.
Thank you.
You know, when I saw the invite for the program, it's at the high school, I believe,
Yes.
right? I assumed it was high school students that would be doing it. And to hear that you guys are in middle school is incredible, right? I did a presentation at work today, and before I left for this meeting, my wife wanted to see it, and so I played it at home as I walked out of the house. and my kids, who are 5 and 8, counted the number of times I said in that presentation. Okay, I counted. I was watching you guys, and there were 0. So you guys are really, really good public speakers. I love the facial expressions. I love the hand gestures, and the fact that you guys knew the content down really, really well is incredible. So I'm even more excited to see the presentations. I think in a couple weeks. I think it's the end of the month.
Absolutely.
So great job.
As always, I'm looking forward to being there and hearing all the different topics. Always I take back something from the TED Talks. And for me especially, I would have to say that I remember awarding Best Essay in the DARE graduation to the host. And I mean, as 5th graders. And to see them as hosts today, it's just wonderful. So I'm really, really excited about the event. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, and I have it on my calendar as well, and I'm excited to see all of the talks. And one of the things that I really like about the whole program is that our high school students are working with the TED Ed students and bringing our programs together. So thank you to all the speech and debate kids for working and being mentors to our GATE children. Thank you. And again, I look forward to the event on the 27th.
Absolutely. And if any of you would like a paper invitation to the TED Ed Student Talks event, I will be passing them out now.
I would love one. Thank you.
I'll take one as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And students, thank you again for being here. Again, you are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but again, you probably have homework and TED Talks to prepare, so you are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item 3, roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Here.
Vanita Daniel.
Here.
Samik Modi.
Here.
Stephanie Olson.
Here.
David Pombo.
Here.
Devika Vitalani.
Here.
Item 4, approval and or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Modi, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item 5, committee reports. Item A, District Advisory Committee, there's nothing to report. Item B, District English Language Advisory Committee, trustee Modi.
Nothing to report.
Item C, Education Committee, trustee Pombo.
Our next meeting is coming up on
Tomorrow, I think.
yes, tomorrow evening at 6:30 in the PDC.
Thank you. Item E, Policy Committee, trustee Daniel.
So we have some updates for the BBAR, and the plan is to review them to be completed by March 31st and have the first read on April 15th at our board meeting.
Thank you. And I'm going to backtrack to item D, Facilities Committee. I apologize, Stephanie, trustee Olson.
That's fine. There is nothing to report.
Thank you. And item F, Safety Committee, trustee Pombo.
Yes, our next meeting is March 12th at 3:45 in the Professional Development Center.
Thank you. And item G, Wellness Committee, trustee Olson.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Item 6, Governing Board Reports. Student Board Member Vitalani.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to start off by apologizing. I'm going to be reading off my phone. I'm just having some issues with my computer. But starting off with ASB updates, March 12th, we have our very exciting Culture Night coming up. And this will be held in our quad. And we're basically setting up different stalls with food and items for sales and activities. And this is basically for people to come there with their cultural and ethnic clothing and to really share it with their friends and family.
We also have the Blacklight Rally Spirit Week coming up from March 24th through 26th. This will be our last Spirit Week of the year. So Monday we have a Fortnite Day, Tuesday is Roblox Day, and Wednesday is Among Us Day, which is our neon rally. And it's, as always, extremely fun and exciting to see all the lights and everything come to life. For club updates, we had our mock trial competition, and we were able to place third in the county. It was an honor working with the team and, of course, our coach, Ms. D'Souza, at the high school. We were also working with Mr. Dangtrin, who is an attorney coach, and he actually graduated from Mountain House High School and participated in mock trial. So he was really able to help us out, and it was just great seeing where he is now. This past weekend, Akshaya Patra Club at our school basically works to help feed underprivileged kids in India. And we held an event at a Women's Day event this past Saturday. It was extremely successful. We were able to carry out activities like face painting and henna, and it was lots of fun. Speech and Debate is hosting their showcase for the community on March 9th. And for additional high school updates, tonight and last night, our counselors held college night workshops for all of the seniors. That concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Trustee Boulay, if you wouldn't mind, I just have to say, you're too humble to admit this, but I'd really like to congratulate you. Our own student trustee won a $500 scholarship at the mock trial competition and also the attorney award. And I'm very proud of you and your team, but congratulations to you.
She also won another award, which is the, I just want to make sure we're complete. She got a 2-week all-inclusive residential pre-college experience at the UOP as well. So,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
She killed it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Trustee Olson.
On last Friday night, I attended the Pipsqueak Glow Dance at Cuesta Elementary, and I've said this before, but it still rings true. The little pipsqueaks dance a lot more than kids at high school dances do, and they have no shame in their moves. And so it's actually a very fun time. And it's, if you want to dance and you're self-conscious about dancing, go to a pipsqueak dance because you'll be accepted, is all I can say. So that was a really great event. And I think that's a really wonderful way to include the little children in the fun that the middle school kids get to do. And I just wanted to conclude my report by saying, I know a few board meetings ago we had a discussion item about the Golden Gavel Awards and thinking about our board. I went back and reviewed. In my first 6 months as a board member, I completed and graduated with my master's in governance. And at that time, they gave us a book. And the title just slipped my mind. Trustee Boulay, what's the title of it? The Governance Core? The Governance Core. I just went and found that book, and I'm starting to reread it because I realized, as much as I learned in the professional development, there's more I can learn to improve my boardsmanship. And that's one thing I value about this board is that I know that all of us are invested in our professional development. And just as, staff in this district really strives to develop professionally, I like that we're doing that. And just would encourage everyone to maybe pull out that book again and read it again if you haven't read it in a while, because there's a lot of good things in there. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Modi.
This week is Read Across America week. I believe the date was on Monday, and then it's celebrated this week. So I read 2 books to 2 classes this week, which was a ton of fun. Read to Miss Pilar's class at Lammersville on Monday in kindergarten, and then had the privilege of reading to Miss King's class at Hanson today, which is where my son is in that class. So that was a special surprise for him. I think he was a little bit embarrassed. I'm not sure if he wanted me there as much as I enjoyed being there. But as I love the interaction with the children, especially at that age. And, I'm used to my own kids, but I'm always just pleasantly surprised at the variety of personalities with different children at that age, especially. And then as I walked out, I commented to Principal Beck on Monday, it just leaves me with such an appreciation for the work that our teachers do. Even the, call it the micro frustrations or surprises that I would have in 30 minutes of reading, just to realize that our teachers engage with our children for, hours, 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day for 180 days a year is incredible. And I just want to thank all teachers and commend them for the work that they do. And I encourage the community and other parents to volunteer, get into the classroom to work with your teachers, not only give them a hand, but also to see the great work that they're doing on a day-to-day basis. So I want to thank the classrooms for inviting us in and allowing us to have that experience. I also wanted the only other thing I have is I'm attending the movie night at Hanson on Friday, and that concludes my report. Oh, sorry, one reminder again that I will miss the next board meeting due to work travel.
Thank you. Trustee Daniel.
Thank you, President. On Feb 25th, I attended the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new kitchen at the Lammersville School. I have to say the, Director of Food Services, Ms. Bernie Hill, her team actually gave us a quick tour of the new kitchen. And it was like all hands-free with a tab on the side. And I'm a foodie and I love cooking. So I was like, wow, this is a good, new updated appliances. So I had a lot of fun watching going through the kitchen tour. It felt so techy there. So I went through the cafeteria people, the cafeteria staff. And there was Sonali Khanna, who was cafeteria computer tech. So it made a lot of sense that now it's all techy. And I also appreciate Angela, who's a food service, who cut the ribbon. And it was a very pleasant event to be at. On Feb 27th, I attended the 11th Annual Altamont Third Grade Wax Museum. I've been there for the past 3 years. And every year, I get to witness creativity and the different costumes and the involvement that the kids put in towards the wax museum, towards being the character themselves. And most of all, I appreciate all the third grade parents and the staff who take the time to make sure that the kids are dressed up in such details and they are there and they're actually performing. They teach them performances with regards to the character. So that was a beautiful memory, and I got to see parents and community members from previous years, so that was a wonderful event to be there. On March 3rd, at 9 a.m., I went to read at Hanson School for the third graders, and I read All Are Welcome, and Ms. Alvarez was kind enough to hand me the book. And at 10:30, I went to Lammersville and was accompanied by Principal Heidi Beck to Ms. Scaffidy's second grade class, and the librarian was able to pick the book, which was a smart cookie with I thoroughly enjoyed reading. And then we got to talk about the different favorite cookies that we have, and we all got hungry. Anyway, that was just amazing. On March 5th, that's today at 10 a.m., I had the wonderful opportunity to read Curious George, Dinosaur Discovery to all the TK kids, Miss Wichman's class. And that's where I got this precious gift from. And I would like to echo all the words that Trustee Modi mentioned. While attending all the events where the kids are participating, there is so much positive energy and just that the kids are engaging so well with us when we are reading. When I went, I was slightly nervous to read. However, the kids made me feel very comfortable. They asked questions, they answered questions, they participated. They were so happy and joyful. So I started feeling comfortable as I read through the book. And I have to say that I do echo all the words again that Trustee Modi mentioned about the effort from the teachers. But as a trustee, I was so thrilled to just be there and connect and observe my duty that I'm performing towards these students and the teachers and staff. So I was in live able to see what I'm contributing here is being exhibited there, and the kids feel very safe and happy there. So that made me feel happy through all the Wax Museum, the Read Across America events. Apart from this, I also got a chance to connect with one of the parent, because a couple of weeks back, I attended the Loving Solutions project, and it was very close to my heart because I learned a lot too after that. There was a lot of parent participation. So I got a chance to connect with a parent to just understand the feedback of, the next few sessions. So the parent was kind enough to give me her feedback. This is from Mrs. Sudha Balaji, and she mentioned that the Loving Solutions Parent Project has truly been a game changer for me. It provided me with practical tools to manage my child's behavior, whether they are 4 or 14, in a way that feels positive and supportive rather than punitive. The strategies help me communicate more effectively with my kids and understand their needs better. I feel more confident in my approach to discipline and have seen a real improvement in our family dynamics. This program has not only strengthened my parenting skills, but also my relationship with my children. So I was deeply, thankful to this parent for her genuine appreciation, and I thank all the teachers, Ms. Sarda and her team, and also the adolescent program. I think it's led by Ms. Wang and another teacher. So I really, really thank them. So we are serving the community as a whole, and I wanted to share this. Lastly, I would like to report that March 6th and 7th, that's tomorrow and day after, I will be completing my MIG 5 and graduating from the Masters of Governance. So I will be celebrating on Friday at the CMEA festival. So there ends my report, Preston. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Pombo.
I am embarrassed to report I have nothing to report.
I am shocked.
Thank you. On February 25th, I attended the Lammersville Kitchen ribbon cutting ceremony as well. And as Trustee Daniel said, it was just sparkly new and shiny. And it was just a great event. And I want to thank the Food Services Department and the Maintenance and Operation Department for all the hard work that they did for months and months and months of work at Lammersville to upgrade that kitchen. And congratulations. I really hope they're having a great time in their new kitchen. Later that afternoon, I attended the boys' high school tennis match versus Patterson. It was the first league match of the season, and they won, I think it was 9-0, so Mountain House High School did great. On March 3rd, I attended another Mountain House High School boys tennis match. This was a non-league match. It was against a Division I team, which is a tougher team. And even though it was tougher, Mountain House High School boys came out ahead with a win of 8-1. And then today, I enjoyed reading, celebrating Read Across America Week. I read to a TK class at Hanson, and I read to a first grade class at Wickland. And I have to echo what my fellow trustees said. I was particularly impressed with those tiny, tiny humans in TK who were just so enthralled in what you were saying. They were respectful. They were paying attention. So I know our parents and our teachers are doing an amazing job with our students, keeping them on track and making sure they grow academically and socially. So I really enjoyed spending time with those little people today. So, and that's the end of my report. Item 7, receiving of public comment. I don't have any blue cards. Is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak? Seeing none, I will move to item 8, consent items for consideration. Actions proposed for consent are consistent with the approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. Trustees receive board agenda background information in advance of scheduled meetings and are prepared to vote with knowledge on the consent items. Item A, Governing Board meeting minutes from the regular meeting on February 19th. Item B, contracts under $50,000. Item C, ratification of certificated and classified personnel actions. Item D, updated 2024-2025 fundraisers. Item E, ratification of 2024-2025 interdistrict transfer requests. Item F, ratification of school-sponsored overnight trips. Item G, acceptance of donations. Planter boxes worth $724.74 from the Quest to School Foundation to be placed along Gravino Drive, along the Quest to School kindergarten playground fence. Would any member of the board like to pull any of these items for discussion or special consideration?
Move to approve consent items.
Second. Oh. She can have it.
Based on a motion by Trustee Pombo and seconded by Trustee Daniels, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. That second was really a tie. It was hard to figure out who to give it to. Madam Clerk, would you please do the honors?
Yes, we'd like to welcome the following people to the Lammersville Unified School District family. Sri Lakshmi Anantaneni, ELOP Instructional Aide. Shruti Jindal, ELOP Instructional Aide. Tassahonia McLean, Noon Duty Supervisor. Emma Niven, Elementary School K-8 Office Supervisor. Chandra Rajapalan, Special Education Teacher. And Preeti Sharma, Noon Duty Supervisor. Welcome.
Thank you. Item 9, District Administrative Reports. Item A, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, I have a couple of short items. We want to congratulate student Kushi Kolti, who is a National Honor Society scholarship winner. Let me double check with the glasses. She was awarded a $3,200 scholarship for doing excellent work. And just another great kid from Mountain House High School making us all look good. So congratulations to her. Second, I attended the construction meeting today, and I have some exciting news, though it doesn't come with a lot of pomp. There is a circumstance that's coming. At the end of the month, they're going to start to unwrap the two classroom buildings in their 15 classroom project. So it kind of goes under wrap, and then all of a sudden it gets stuccoed. The classrooms start to be put in, the drywall's being put up, and all that's going on. It just looks like a paper bag. And so it would be at the latest the first week of April, but all of a sudden it's going to unwrap. I had the opportunity to slow things down a little bit and do something with it, but I just said, just get her done and people can be excited by seeing it, but we'd rather have it finished. So I wanted to let the board know that that's coming along and it's right on pace. We're really excited. And then lastly, I'd like to speak to our student trustee and say congratulations on your UOP coming experience. There's a couple of people here in the audience, or at least a couple of people here tonight that have experience with UOP. Mr. Harrison earned his bachelor's degree and master's degree at UOP and was a Division I football player as an offensive tackle. Now, why is that important? Because we strive to be the best here. While he was offensive tackle at UOP, they were the #1 offense in the country, and we're talking about the big ones like the Notre Dames and the USCs. So he was a member of the UOP Tigers and just recently was a rugby coach there. And I earned my teaching credential and administrative credential and my doctorate in 2004 there. So what I can tell you is it's one of the most beautiful campuses on the West Coast. It's been in movies. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I can assure you that's there. The Raiders of the Lost Ark, there you go. And it's often, if you look at the top most beautiful campuses in America, you'll see UOP usually in the 85 to 100 because the East Coast always gets a kind of a special treatment. But I hope you have a great time there. It's a beautiful place. Walk around it, and it's really a nice part of it. It's probably the best part of Stockton. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really look forward to it. Thank you.
And Madam President, that's my report.
Thank you. Item B, District Enrollment Report.
8,034 students.
Awesome. Item D, District Maintenance and Operations Report. We have Director Dixon with us tonight.
Good evening. So we received some rain recently, including today. So all the irrigation's still off in the district. We're still working through a few roof leak work orders that have come in with the rain. The rain kind of slows us down on that a little bit for taking care of those. But we will get to those as soon as we can. We are still working through a few HVAC heating work orders at several sites. There are no custodial or cervic permit issues at this time. The pool is still being a little difficult. The pH has been running high for a few weeks now, so we're going to replace the pump and the meter on the pH system to try to correct that. But the water temperature is still good. Currently, we have 2 openings in maintenance, and then we have 1 opening in operations.
Thank you. Item 10, action items. Item A, consider approval of the 2024-2025 seniority lists. Item 1, Lammersville Teachers Association, LTA. And item 2, California School Employees Association, CSEA, chapter number 873. Staff report?
Yes, this is something we do every year. It identifies the order in which employees are hired. The Teachers Association is based on the date of hire, and the CSEA is based on the date they become members of the association.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
What could that what could that list be used for?
So really what it's for is in the case that there's a layoff, there's a legal process that has to be followed. The street way of saying is last in, first out. But there's a manner in which a layoff would go through the procedures before it goes to an ALJ drudge for final determinations. But it's this allows the board to see the list that that has been put together and approved by the unions.
Great, thank you.
Move to approve the 2024-2025 seniority list.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Pombo and a second by Trustee Olson, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item B, consider approval of CSBA 2025 Delegate Assembly Subregion 8A ballot nomination. Staff report?
Yes, this is something we do, I don't want to say every year, but at least every other year. There are 2 nominations. The board should choose no more than 2, meaning you don't have to pick 2. Mr. Pombo, in your expertise in this matter, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share?
I would recommend that we vote for the 2 nominees.
I will move to approve CSBA 2025 Delegate Assembly Subregion 8A ballot nominations for both nominees.
I second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Olson and a second by Trustee Daniel, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes to approve both candidates on the ballot. Item C, consider approval of Governing Board Resolution 24-25-10, acknowledging 7 certifications required to submit modernization and new construction funding applications to the Office of Public School Construction, OPSC. Staff report, please.
Yes, in November, Prop 2 passed. It's a $13 billion state construction bond. It's a very important matter for this school district. The board has to pass this resolution in order to acknowledge one of the rules in particular, which is a 5-year facilities plan. We have been actively engaged in finding out what the 5-year plan is and what they want. To date, months later, no one can tell us what it is. However, the second we do, we will be right there giving a presentation. We have 3 projects currently on the old system: Costa, Lammersville Modernization, and the 15 Classroom Project. Anything after October of 2024 has to go through this process. That means this neighborhood J school, the neighborhood I school, neighborhood K school. We pray that those 3 schools can be covered by that $13 billion. It's highly unlikely that that will be the case. J certainly should be able to get that funding, and then we'll have other projects along the way. So I recommend approval, and again, the 5-year plan. We're enthusiastic about getting the direction.
Any questions or comments from the board?
When you say that funding, I'm assuming it doesn't mean all of the funding for that whole school
We would take $13 billion.
Yeah.
No,
for sure.
So it's three.
Yeah.
It's $3 billion for new construction, and I don't have this perfectly memorized.
But the intent is that we're going to apply for as much as we can.
Every time.
If we can get 100% of it covered, that'd be amazing. But we expect probably a portion of it to be covered. Is that
right? So let me explain that. So we can get a portion. It's the district match is what it is. So the district gets credit for a percentage of the project, somewhere between 25 and 30%, and the state matches that. So in the case of Costa, it's about $25.6 million. $5 million of that is the direct result of the land sale transaction. So the state system would have given us only $20 million had we not done that. So that's a long-winded way of getting to, we get a portion of that, and it has to be matched by the district, and we do that match through the Belarus bonds.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Move to approve Governing Board Resolution 242510, acknowledging 7 certifications required to submit modernization and new construction funding applications to the Office of Public School Construction, OPSC.
Second.
Okay, based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote.
Aye.
I believe this is a roll call vote.
Lisa Boulay.
Aye.
Vanita Daniel.
Aye.
Samik Modi.
Aye.
Stephanie Olson.
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Thank you. Item D, consider approval of public disclosure form AB 1200, a collective bargaining agreement for Lammersville Teachers Association, LTA, and unrepresented certificated classified. Staff report, please.
Yes, first of all, I want to thank the 2 sets of negotiating teams for LTA, led by Nick Lanier, their president, and our team, Deputy Superintendent Harrison, Executive Director Busatil, Director Sarah Barrios, and Assistant Superintendent Gloria Grijalva. They, both sides, very professional, resolved problems well together, and we came to a very good conclusion. With that said, the AB 1200 is a formal process that the district goes through. It requires county acknowledgement that we can pay our bills in this year and the out 2 years, which means we can afford the raise. This is the formal step to have the board acknowledge that.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
I'm going to get nuanced with numbers, if that's okay. So on the page that talks about impact on subsequent years, I'm not questioning the numbers themselves. I'm just trying to understand how to interpret this. So, and I don't know if do you have this up, or does anyone have
I'll
it?
ask somebody up.
Huh?
Assistant Superintendent Grijalva,
Okay.
Albina, if you want to come up.
It's page 135 of the.
The impact of proposed agreement in subsequent years?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first column A, we take the first interim that was approved by the board in December, and we copy those numbers right down. Column B is the change from that point. So there's a couple of items we take into account to put those numbers in. They are the cost of the settlement that we're approving today. And throughout this time from December to, say, today, we bring to the board budget revisions. Those revisions are also included in that number, which is the change. So in column B is the change from first interim A to what we're proposing tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to assume all the sublines are accurate, right? So the kind of the row that's right above the thick black line that says current year increase or decrease in fund balance. So the $12 million, we're saying based on the budget in December, or the interim budget, this contract will result in a decrease in $12 million to that fund balance. Is that an accurate way to read that cell?
Which column, which row?
A.
The 2 million?
12 million.
It's probably a different form. I don't have a current copy.
See, I don't know if he's looking at unrestricted or restricted at the top.
Oh, I'm
Does it
sorry.
Say unrestricted,
It says
restricted.
combined general
It
fund.
says third page. There you go. I couldn't see that number. We were not
It's
on
the
same
page after the restricted, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it is the change.
Okay, so we're saying that with this agreement, it's going to be a $12 million decrease to our fund balance for the current year. That's the way to interpret that number?
Let's see. So
This is probably a draft, so it's a different number, but yes, right here.
this will also, column B will also show the change from the first subsequent year. So it's actually the following year. So with that, you have all the costs of additional staff, the step and column costs, all of those are included in that as well.
Okay, I'm going to go back.
So the raise isn't exclusive to these numbers. So the raise is $2 million will be $2 million.
Okay.
But there's other costs that are applied for the out years. So the out year cost includes additional new staff. It includes step and column. It includes workman's comp. It includes all that. So the number is bigger because of all those things.
I'm not judging whether the number should be 12 million or 10 million or 8 million. I just want to understand how to read the chart. That's honestly all I'm trying to figure out. So in that column A, it's saying that this new agreement will have a $12 million impact to our current budget. That's column A. That's accurate? That's how I should interpret that number?
That is the change, but it's not entirely from the agreement. It's all changes to the budget since the first interim.
Okay, got it. Okay, so then we go to column B that says change from the current year to the first subsequent year, which I'm assuming is going to be next year's budget. That then shows a positive number of $10 million. So in column A, it's got a negative number. Column B has a positive number. So how do I interpret a positive number for the change between the current year and the next year?
So if you look at within the column, there are some expenses that have gone down. We also have increased revenue.
You'll see a lot of the one-time dollars that were removed the following year.
Okay,
We had learning recovery grant, ESSER grants.
ESSER grants.
That's why you see these negative numbers in there because
Okay.
we're reducing all
So
this
then,
out.
so then I just want to make sure I understand. So then column B, we're saying that from our current year to the next year, we're going to have an increase in $10 million to our balance.
In revenue, yes, because the ADA will increase your revenue at the top. And then your expenditures, of course, will go up in the salaries, but they're going to decrease in your one-time expenditures. That's why
Okay.
you see a negative in column B.
Okay. No, I see a positive in column B though.
Well, you see positives and negatives overall between the
Sure,
two.
but
yes.
yeah, I'm just looking at the sum, right? The sum seems to say we're going to gain $10 million next year. That's what this is saying? Okay. So then this column C then says first subsequent year after the settlement, which is next year.
Right.
Then that shows a negative 1.7 million. So I guess I'm just getting confused in how to walk from the current year to the changes to the next year to the changes to the last year.
It's very complicated form. It is. So increase in revenue, then we have increase in staffing, increasing the settlements, and the second year out. And then you see the removal of all of the one-time expenditures to bring you down to using up ending fund balance of 1.7 million.
Okay, so if I'm a board member or community member, is it accurate to say that based on this agreement, in the second year of after the settlement, our fund balance we project to be increased by $142,000 with everything taken into account?
I don't know. Are we looking at the same form? I don't see none of the numbers he's reading off.
Yeah, this is a draft.
No, is there a way to bring that page up?
So the purpose of this item, this has already been reviewed by our oversight. You have every right to know what you want to know. It seems to me that you could sit with them for an hour, 2 hours if you want, and go over all this. The purpose of this agenda item is to acknowledge that the county said that we can afford the bills.
Sure.
That's
I think
what
it's really great that the county thinks that we can afford it, right?
They have to, because that's the law, because the state, I mean, it's not just because they're doing it. The state requires it. This is fiscal oversight from the state to the county to us and back up the system.
Yeah. No, I get that. I want to try to understand how to read this form, right? And if it's a form that we're saying that we're approving it, I'm hoping that we can say that we kind of understand what happens in each year. I also think it's important that as we approve a new agreement with our 2 unions, that we understand and be able to communicate what's the impact across, because of the agreement, right? So I'm just trying to understand how to if someone asks me what's the impact of this, I don't know what the answer is.
There's a lot of detail and expenditure
Again,
line items.
your answer would be you need to call the district and speak to the budget people. You have every right to get every piece of information you want to be able to answer that as well. But the correct answer for any board member is to send them back to staff.
And no one's asked me.
No, I get you, because this is
is
a form that they have to use, and by nature it's complicated. So nobody's questioning that. I'm just, go ahead.
I want to add one more complication. What we're looking at is combined. So we're looking at both unrestricted and restricted. And there's always a crossover between the two because we contribute from unrestricted to restricted. And so it's very, very complicated because we're looking at both of those in this particular document.
Okay.
And I will add, this doesn't have a bearing on this particular document, but one of the MIG classes that I know you're looking at starting to take has some very in-depth information on school finance. And so it does teach you how to read these documents, what to look for, how to look at the current budget and 2 years out, et cetera. So I know that's coming for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Trustee Boulay, that the mid class is very helpful, and then also kind of what Dr. Nicholas was saying. I know that both Gloria and Alvina are very, very accommodating when we have questions. If you make an appointment with them, they can sit down with you, and I think that would be a more appropriate setting so you could really get the information you need, because it will probably take a good 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I want to be respectful of time. I was hopeful that it was just an understanding issue for me that I could get it, but I'm happy to, take it offline or as a follow-up to just understand how that walk goes for each of the columns.
So the form is an Excel sheet, and when we plug in our unrestricted, which would have been the 2 pages prior, and the restricted, the 1 page prior, it carries it forward into this sheet. So it's the combination of the two.
That's a lot of formulas, you're right.
Yeah, okay, I get.
Okay, do we have any other questions for our finance team? Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
I'll move to approve the public disclosure form AB 1200 of collective bargaining agreement for Lammersville Teachers Association, LTA, and unrepresented certificated classified.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Olson and a second by Trustee Daniel, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item E, consider approval to adjourn from regular session to open the public hearing for the preliminary environmental assessment, PEA, report for a proposed future site at 1200 and 1525 South Tradition Street located in Mountain House. Staff report, please.
Yes, so this is one of the steps in order to do a project on a site. This is related to the 19 acres. Just a quick summary, the 19 acres was part of a transaction between us and Mountain House developers. And we've had access to this land, or at least we have an agreement that the district will get the land, the 19 acres. We have been trying to negotiate with Mountain House developers for almost 2 years now, a land sale transaction that if this board or future board directs me to build a building on there, that we can go to the state funding system and get that state match of the district's expenditures. For some unknown reason, they have drugged this out for a significant amount of time. I think the last interaction regarding this, even though what happened was me about 3 weeks ago, but we have not been able to agree with a purchase sale agreement that both sides are amenable to. And so at present, this is a step that allows the plans we have, the fields and the field house with the restrooms and the storage area, to build it. But we are waiting for Belarus bonds to come in and state funds to come in order to afford that. So this step is just a simple process of approving this PEA. But I wanted to add the other part, which is that I gave a presentation a couple of meetings ago about the complications. This is usually a 6-page agreement that takes a very short period of time. We're 2 years into it, and it's 51 pages long. So it has been adventurous, but we will, I promise, get this done. It's perplexing as to why. And so we recommend approval, and I believe this is the last step to lead to getting the Department of School Architecture to approve.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the board?
Can I just make sure I understand? You said that we can build. Did you say we can build on this land
Correct.
before the agreement is finalized?
No. In
Okay.
order to build, so all the environmental stuff gets done.
Sure.
So it's build ready. Then we go on and build something. The money that we put in with approved DSA plans can allow us to put a 5004 application onto the state funding list and therefore get our district match back. Similar to what Costa, I explained on Costa.
Got it. Okay.
But we don't know what we're going to do. Right now, we think it's just going to be fields. But it's 19 acres. It's slightly bigger than a normal K-8 site. But our plan is 6 acres of fields to alleviate some of the, we're starting to host freshman teams and such.
Great.
Move to approve to adjourn from regular session to open the public hearing for the preliminary environmental assessment, PEA, report for a proposed future school site at 1200 and 1525 South Tradition Street located in Mountain House.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Olson, student trustee preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. We are now in public hearing for the preliminary environment assessment for the proposed future school site at 1200 and 1525 South Tradition Street in Mountain House. Anyone who wishes to make a comment can do so at this time.
Move to approve to close the public hearing and return to regular session.
Second.
Item F, based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Daniel, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item G, consider approval of the new certificated Lammersville Teachers Association job description effective July 1st, 2025, intervention teacher. Staff report, please.
Yes, so the G and H are similar in their origination. This is preparing for growth. This is preparing for the district to address our 3 district goals: good first-time instruction, impact teams, which is a systematic district-wide manner in which teachers and administration talk about the outcomes of student data and how to address them, and specifically to the 20%, the students who are struggling to meet standard. So we have been building an academic program at all levels, but this is really focused on the K2 level, maybe a little bit of impact on 3 through 8, that in teaching students to read and teaching students to understand math fundamentals and math concepts, we have been buying programs that address specific skill sets. And that's great, but to ask one classroom teacher with 24 to 32 students to be perfectly on every day as we add those programs to address specific groups of kids' needs, it starts to create a weight on the teacher and you get a dilution of effect. So this is going to lead to 8 intervention teachers, 8 K-8 school sites. They won't be equally balanced in the sense of where they're placed because some schools have greater needs than others. But the idea is if these intervention teachers are experts on some of the programs that are designed specifically for the lowest achieving kids or specifically for the kids who are almost at standard, then the teacher can concentrate their energy and efforts on what they're very good at and have a support supplement with this intervention teachers. So let me kind of lay out the game. Everyone who's been in public education since No Child Left Behind in 2000 knows. You have the kids that are there, the kids that are almost there, and the kids that are not there. The kids that are almost there are considered bubble kids. In the color charts, they're always yellow, right? The yellows become light green and then dark green. If you want to get test scores in the state of California, you move the yellow kids. But what about the orange and the red kids? The kids are most needy. So we have a solemn obligation to address all five groups, right? But the yellow kids get you your score, and you want to move the orange to yellow, the red to orange, and that's what it's like. There are so many specific things to address at this point in time in modern education that this position, we believe, will help alleviate that dilution effect and improve the quality of experience and skill sets of the most needy of our students, and drive yellow to light green, which is where I get to come and say, hey, the test scores went up again. So that's how it goes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I think you explained the role of an intervention teacher. Is my understanding correct? So basically we have all these approved programs that the kids use at school. So we need a teacher who is going to kind of put the data together and make it easier for the classroom teachers. Is my understanding kind of correct?
Just a little tiny shift. So if you have the whole group, good first time instruction, there's a lesson plan. The teacher comes in and teaches out of the curriculum. Within the curriculum, there are like supplements to help kids that didn't get it the first time, and there's interventions. Then you have interventions for kids who have specific skill deficits that the curriculum doesn't address. So it's okay if that's like 4 things, but then you add a 5th and a 6th and a 7th, and that's the dilution effect. So what we want to do is take some of those programs, the delivery, off of the teacher and give it to an expert who's trained by a coordinator and know exactly what they're doing, so that we get the most bang for the time with those kids, and getting rid of the dilution effect and having the teacher concentrate their energy on their curriculum and the tools within the curriculum, and maybe 1 or 2 of the interventions. So there's a lot of great tools, and we're trying to solve a lot of different skill deficits, and it's too much to ask one teacher to do exclusively.
Thank you. Thanks for explaining. I have a follow-up question on that. So how many intervention teacher roles are we opening? Do we have a number? 8. Okay, great. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to approve.
I have a question it's really quick. I know you said that they're going to be moving around based on need. So will they report to a specific principal, or will they be under the supervision of somebody else?
At present, the plan is that we're going to have them assigned to a principal. The issue is like, if you could take one of our elementary school has a very, very small number of kids. Those kids deserve everything we've got, just like everybody else. But there might be another school that needs half a teacher that's split between 2 and an additional one. So we will assign a principal to each one of the teachers, the one they spend the majority time with.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, Trustee Daniel.
That's
now
okay.
I'm all done.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to approve the new certified Lammersville Teachers Association job description effective July 1st, 2025, intervention teacher.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Daniel and a second by Trustee Pombo, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item H, consider approval of the new certificated management job description effective April 1st, 2025, Administrator of Alternative Education Programs. Any additional staff report?
Yes, this is a totally different purpose, but it's very similar. As we grow, the students who don't need a traditional schooling experience grows, and the number of students who require something different grows. So what we've done in the past is we've added a position as we are preparing for the next phase of growth. We have a number of alternative ed programs, EPIC being one, Leo being another, but it's gotten to the point where we need a dedicated administrator to oversee those programs. And secondarily, we need to develop an adult school, which is a very complicated endeavor. And ultimately, we'll end up with some form of a site-based alternative ed school. All those things are coming, and we need someone to oversee what we already have, make sure that it's as good as we can make it, and also start to develop these other programs. So we recommend that for approval as well.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, can I ask, what do we do now for those type of programs? How do we kind of manage it? And then is there a trigger that drives our need to establish an adult school and more, call it, programs that are available within our district?
So there's not like a metric specifically, but really what it comes down to the first part of the answer is that different people pick up different tasks. And we have a coordinator that helps out with Epic. Once you get too many people, it's time to pool it and go with a position. I'll give you a perfect example. We opened the student services department, anticipating just the social emotional needs of the large number of students here. And 4 months later, COVID hit. And that person got to be the public health director for Mountain House and Lammersville Unified. She did a great job. So all teasing aside, there's no metric. It's like when you start to feel like that's that dilution effect.
So this is not like a state mandate that once you hit 9,000 kids, you got, okay.
No. It's simply a matter of, we don't want to say, I wish we would have. We would like to be out ahead of things. And we are taking on, again, public education, social services, mental health services, nutrition services, full day care, like for 3 years old to 18-year-old, and in special ed up to 21-year-old, providing services. So it's just that with that comes the need for new people to oversee a group of things.
Okay, thank you.
Move to approve the new certificated management job description effective April 1st, 2025, Administrator of Alternative Education Programs.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Olson, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item 11, calendar. Item A, Thursday, March 6th, the Education Committee meeting at 6:30 in the Professional Development Center. Item B, Wednesday, March 12th, the Safety Committee meeting is at 3:45 in the Professional Development Center. Item C, Tuesday, March 18th, the District Parent Advisory Committee will be meeting at 6 p.m. in the Professional Development Center. Item D, Wednesday, March 19th is the next governing board meeting at 7 o'clock here at the District Office Boardroom. And item E, Thursday, March 27th is the TED Ed event. 5:30 is the GATE showcase in the Mountain House High School multipurpose room. And 6:30 is the TED Ed student talks in the Mountain House High School theater. In a moment, we will adjourn to closed session where we will discuss the following. Item A, Public Employee Discipline Dismissal Release Complaint, Government Code Section 54957. And item B, Conference with Real Property Negotiators, Government Code Section 54956.8.
Move to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
Based on a motion from trustee Olson and a second by trustee Pombo, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. We are now adjourned to closed